Welcome back. The Cats have a tough one down in Baton Rouge tonight against LSU. We kind of already touched on it, but now let's break it down with Perrin Johnson. I don't know if that's the name of the segment, but that's what I've been calling it every time.
It works for me. It works for me.
But they've got some good players, and maybe the front runner for the SEC Player of the Year is on the LSU Tigers.
Yeah, I feel like tonight's game will decide who wins SEC Player of the Year because the conference title is on the line with this game. You have the two best teams, obviously, in the conference right here. And it's going to be a physical, all-out war tonight.
So, Skyler Mayes.
Yes, Skyler Mayes, he's been averaging 16 points a game. He has a positive assist-to-turnover ratio, 80 assists to like 50 turnovers on the year. But everything with him is either at the three-point line or at the rim. But in the last 3 games he's scored 23 points or more, and he's gotten double figures in the last 5 games. He's done a tremendous job, and he is really a handful to guard tonight. It's going to be a problem.
So Ashton Higgins has a problem on his hands.
I think he's going to have his work cut out for him, but he stepped up to the challenge every time and guarded the team's best player.
Yeah.
But this is going to be a ruckus environment, and this kid's going to be looking to prove a point. He scored 30 points his last game. He's really going to be out here trying to score.
He really is. And Ashton, honestly, needs to not just play defense tonight because the whole LSU team, they've got 5 guys averaging double figures, so they can score. So everyone's going to need to play defense, but then they're going to also need to contribute on the offensive end.
Yes.
All right, you've got Skyler Mayes. Who's next that we focus on?
Yes, the next guy that we have is Javonte Smart. Javonte Smart, he's about the same size as Skyler Mayes. He's a guy that doesn't shoot the same percentage as obviously Skyler Mayes, but those guys are dangerous because they're playing a home game. He typically plays better at home than he does on the road. And he's a guy that he takes a lot of shots and he doesn't shoot a high percentage. You say, well, I'm not to guard him out there, but he'll make a couple and get going. He's a guy that's dangerous because he believes he can make shots, but he's not a great shooter statistically if you look at him and watch him. But steady player, positive assist-to-turnover ratio. Everything he does is kind of like him. He's either shooting a 3 or he's at the rim. None of these guys are really good in terms of a mid-range. They don't do a lot of mid-range action, but they're a good team.
Which Kentucky has been good at recently. The floater with Maxey or Quickly is can't miss. All right,
yes.
Who's next on LSU?
Next we have Trendon Wofford. Trendon Wofford plays center typically. He's probably more than likely going to be on Nick Richards. So he's a guy that's 6'9". He also averages double figures, 14.7 rebounds a game. The thing about him you got to understand is he doesn't shoot a lot of threes, hardly any, but he has 69 turnovers to 43 assists. So what you know about him is once he catches the ball, he's not looking to pass.
Yeah.
He's a guy that if you're guarding him, there's not going to be no other weird action. It's him and you one-on-one, and you got to get a stop. I think you're probably going to see this as a really matchup problem because you want to see Nick Richards stay out of foul trouble. So this is a concerning matchup pretty much for me because he wants to shoot the ball constantly when he gets it.
How physical is he down low?
He's physical, but he's not the most physical guy on the team in my opinion. But he's a guy that's really physical, and he likes to attack off the bounce once he catches it mid-post at the elbow. So look at him to catch it off the block to attack Nick Richards off the bounce.
All right, up next.
Next we have Emmett Williams. Emmett Williams is the most physical player on this team. He's not that tall. He's 6'6", but he's 240 pounds. He should line up and play tight end if he wanted to. Probably for the football team, but they don't need him considering they won a national championship. Yeah. So he averages 14.7 rebounds a game also, and he has 50 turnovers to 29 assists. So that also tells you about him. He's not looking to pass either. So one thing you know about this, E.J. Montgomery and Nick Richards are going to have to defend their faces off tonight. And Nate Sestina as well because these guys are looking to attack at the 4 and the 5 position tonight a great deal. And that's what they do, and that's why they wreak havoc because they go small, but they're athletic and they're mobile and they can run and rebound outside of space.
The 4, especially for Kentucky, is going to have to play tough. All right,
yes.
Darius Days. We start with Skyler Mayes. We end with Darius Days.
Yes, ain't that it? That's got to be fun to practice with those guys every day. But I tell you what, he's 12 rebounds a game. He's 12 points a game and 7 rebounds. He's not going to give you a lot of things. Not a guy that's a shooter, but he's a big, bulky body. He rebounds great outside of space. These guys are great rebounding outside of space. So to give you a comparison, because I'm a Louisville guy, think of a guy like Montrezl Harrell, Shane Bohannon in the last couple of years. They're not big in terms of height, but they're athletic guys that create a lot of havoc and rebounding, and they beat people up on the backboard. The game's going to be won on the backboard tonight, and I hope Kentucky understands that.
Spread is 2.5. It's going to be tight either way. Much more Hey Kentucky after this.